broadcasting live from Las Vegas every Wednesday at noon on KLAV AM 1230 and streaming online at KLAV.com. KLAV 1230 AM.com. Our show today is sponsored by the members of Women in Music and Arts, empowering artists of all ages through education and mentorship. You can find out more about women in music and arts by going to our website, WIMAfoundation.org. That's www.WIMAfoundation.org. Well, we've got a great lineup for you today. My guests on Women in Music and Arts today are playwright Dolly Coulter, classical singer Stephanie Thompson, conductor, producer, director of Bonnie's Old West Musical Review, author of Awaken to Your Inner Beauty, and owner of Worldwide Wellness, Mitzi Reed, tenor Marco Varela, artist, graphic designer, and developer Tanya Nikolic, and delivering happiness messenger Amy Frost. Hi,
Amy. I like that. A delivering happiness messenger. Thank you. I like that.
Well, how are you today?
Fantastic. Very happy.
Thank you. Good. So am I. I mean, it's really been an interesting couple of days. You know, we've had a little bit of haze over the valley here in Las Vegas,
down, which is so lovely.
But it's also allowed us to have that little breeze and a little cooler weather. My husband and I set outside last night at the Cheesecake Factory, and we just enjoyed the breeze and had a little nice dinner. So it was very nice. So, what kind of message do you have for us today, Amy? I know we've been starting out with a message from you for the past, I think, 5 or 6 weeks now. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to talk to us about today.
Thank you. What I've been noticing for myself and a lot of people, that there is a lot of crisis going on. I've had two friends go into the emergency room in the last 2 days. And I think a lot of it, there's so much stress. And I think one of the best things that we can do is help people to be hopeful. I think we've kind of forgotten how to be hopeful. So this started out, it was a gospel song. I took part of it and then added a last sentence to it. So let me share it. I'm not going to sing. I'm going to be thankful for that. So I wish you hope. Hope is to believe in the sun when it's not shining. To believe in love even when you're alone. To believe in God when He is silent. To believe in yourself even when it appears you're not successful.
That's very important. Yeah. We oftentimes get caught up in our daily lives and rushing around from this appointment to that appointment, trying to catch up with all the social media that we have to do, and catching those phone calls and texts that people send to us, and we forget, that we do need to keep hope in our lives.
That one hope, I think, is the feel like Martin Luther King Jr., what he always says, hope is...
Well, I think that says a lot about what we're doing as women in music and arts, too, because we are here to inspire and mentor artists of all ages to pursue their passions. And a lot of people have been through a lot of change in the past few years. You talk about crisis in their lives. People have lost their income. They've lost their homes, a lot of them, because of the economy. The economy has not been good. People are not finding the jobs that they would like to have to support their families. And then inside, they're missing something deeper than that. I think
even people who are doing okay, there's this sense of, I'm not connected, I'm missing something, and I think that's one reason that WIMA is so important, because we need to support each other, and we need mentoring, and we need to remember, there's something bigger than all this.
Well, one of our members who was on right at the very beginning of the show, I remember when we asked her what WIMA meant to her, she said it means home. And as a matter of fact, she's going to be joining us today. I just thought that. But when Stephanie said that, it just it touched me deep inside, because WIMA has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I just hadn't put a name on it until a few years ago. And for 30 years ago, I remember, you know how you write those? You take a big piece of paper and you put what your 1-year goals, your 5-year goals, your 10 and 30, whatever. I remember having this big sheet that I had written in. I drew this big circle. I started writing down all the things that I wanted to do. And one of them that I've always wanted to do is help people help themselves.
Because we really can't help anybody anyway.
That's right. I mean, it's a challenge to help ourselves.
That's our number one job, is to do our own work.
Yeah, and I was talking with Brett O'Connor this morning. She came over to pick up some brochures that she's going to be labeling for us for an event that we have coming up August 18th. It's a back-to-school fair, which is a real big event.
10,000 people.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have a lot of people out there. So so I have some brochures that are of my mother's artwork and of my own artwork. And of course we have the old information on there, old address, that we had on there. And so my administrative assistant that was here to help me for a few weeks, thanks to Ann Parenti, was Sierra Stencil. And so last week we created some labels with the WIMA information on them, and now Brett is going to be affixing them to those brochures so that we can hand those out and have the WIMA information on them. So, but Brett and I were talking this morning a little bit about, a lot of it has to do with the energy that we're carrying around with us, and you and I have been working a lot on this in different, we've been talking a lot about transformation in our lives, and when we carry around, when things happen in our lives that have a negative impact on us, if we continue to discuss that and to keep that in our sphere and continue to harp on it and bring it up, that negativity, and you become this you become this whiny person. But if you take that negativity, that negative aspect that happened, and you say, okay, this is something that's not just this happened in my life. How can I look at this and learn from it? Because obviously there's something I need to learn here.
Amen.
If this is happening. How can I turn it around? And then how can I go forward in a positive manner and let go of that energy?
And I wouldn't want to get caught up in the negative or positive, because that's a judgment on our part.
Well, yeah, there you
right,
go. See?
Right. So it's about what is true for me
Okay.
right now, what is happening, and what do I want.
Okay.
And then what is one thing I can do towards what I want.
And see, that's very important, because words are very important. And just like what I just said, I know that there's different ways you can look at things. And just when I studied Feldenkrais, it was very much like there is no right or wrong.
No
there
negative,
there is
positive.
only where we're at the moment.
Yeah.
So you're right to bring that up, and I appreciate that, because everything we can do to instill in us these aspects that continue to remind us, okay, what is it I need to be focusing on now,
Yes.
instead of holding on.
So that's good time management.
Yeah. Instead
Right?
of holding on to what has been in the past. And I see a lot of people holding on to that, what happened, and this is why, I just can't get,
And that gets you more of that.
and then what
right?
happens is it just keeps regenerating that same thought process.
Yeah.
So if we can catch ourselves in these moments, the quicker we can catch ourselves saying something like that, if we can turn it around and say, well, this, and that, but, I can't really do this yet, and you can add that yet
Or
to
I'm
it.
willing.
Or I'm willing to change, I'm willing to work towards
Yeah.
this. Then I think we can gradually...
Well, that builds hope.
We can gradually...
Those kinds of
yes,
activities.
build hope.
And what I can do for you and you can do for me is when I'm doing that, go, okay, that's interesting, and what do you want?
Right.
Don't feed the story. Just keep supporting that other person in what they want. Because a lot of times you don't even realize you're being negative.
And you're right. Sometimes just by even going over it, even in a positive way, what you think is a positive way.
It's positive
See,
to you, maybe
that's what I
negative to
mean.
me.
That's what I mean. That's right.
Oh, I have a headache.
So with that in mind, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Women in Music and Arts, and I'm your host, Sandy Kastel, and I'm here with Amy Frost, who has brought us a lot of positive, inspirational moments here. And as I said, she is the Delivering Happiness Messenger. She's actually been doing a lot with that lately. Tell us just a little bit about how you got involved in the Delivering Happiness messages that you've been delivering.
I read the book by Tony Shea, Delivering Happiness, and loved that. And I went to their website, that they have deliveringhappiness.com, and you can sign up. It's a movement. And so I signed up, and then you can apply to be a VHP, a very happy person. So I signed up for that. And then I just love what they do, and I kept saying, what can I do to help? And they have those Inspire meetings once a month, and so I spoke at that. And then Claire, who's with Delivering Happiness, said, why don't you consider, writing for our blog? And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean?
Here you are.
and I, I can write about what I choose to write about, and for me, it's like, what are the skills, of course, that you need to be happy. I mean, I think you're happy without anything. It's going back to who we truly are. If we really go to that without those expectations, without those negatives and positive, we're innately happy.
I was talking with another one of our members today, and we were talking about how we can go inside for a few minutes. Some of the things that you've done with us is you've just given us these little meditations, like we had the little 5-finger exercise that we did last week, which was a very nice one. You would focus as you would touch your thumb to your pointer. You would touch on.
You would something physical, a physical activity. You know, this felt good. I do it
Yes.
for a run or something like that. And then the next one was some loving gesture, a love letter or a loving touch. Then so that was the middle finger, and then with the index finger, it was a gift that you received, and really taking that in. And then with the left baby finger, it's some place that was really beautiful that you have been or you've dreamed about, and being there for 30 seconds.
And see, that's just something that you can do in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
That can take you in a situation when you're in anything that's something that's not
You
uncomfortable.
have your hand under the
And you
table,
can
if you
just
don't right.
have your hand in your lap or under the table or wherever, and just do that. And these are little things. It's just like healing affirmations, you know, by Louise Hay or somebody like that. There are so many opportunities that we have in our day to turn situations around and to continue to just give it up, you know, and say, I'm going to let go of that and focus on what my goals are and what it is, where I want to be, what I want to do, and go forward with those thoughts and keep yourself on track with where you want to be. Because I think if we take one step at a time, one little step at a time, you know, we can reach our goals. Yeah, so if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Women in Music and Arts, and I'm your host, Sandy Kastel, and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas every Wednesday at noon on KLAV AM 1230 and streaming online at KLAV1230am.com. Our show today is sponsored by the members of Women in Music and Arts, empowering artists of all ages through education and mentorship. And you can find out more about Women in Music and Arts by going onto our website at wimafoundation.org. We've got some great guests lined up today. We've got playwright Dolly Coulter, classical singer Stephanie Thompson, conductor, producer, and director of Bonnie's Old West Musical Review, Jonathan Gorst, author of Awaken to Your Inner Beauty and owner of Worldwide Wellness, Mitzi Reed, tenor Marco Varela, artist, graphic designer, developer Tanya Nikolic, and delivering happiness messenger Amy Frost. So we are here and we're waiting for our first caller, but she hasn't called in yet. So we are going to take a quick break for our sponsors.
Coming to music.
Okay. Oh, how's my hair look? How frumpy.
Ready?
Welcome back to Women in Music and Arts. We are broadcasting live from Las Vegas every Wednesday at 12 o'clock on KLAV 1230 AM on your dial and streaming online at KLAV1230am.com. This show will also be rebroadcast Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com. You can. Our guests today are a wide variety of members who are members of Women in Music and Arts. And our first guest that's calling in right now is Stephanie Thompson. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Sandy. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, you know, I just remembered this morning, you know, when I was talking with Amy about what you had said when you said, what does WIMA mean to you, and how much it touched me.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Well, I really need that. You know, I think it is so awesome what you are doing, and I'm so excited about the potential for this scholarship for, you know, aspiring artists. And I can remember when I was in high school how important that was to me to have scholarships like that available to help me to go to school and to grow and learn in my craft, and that just really meant so much to me. So I'm thrilled to be a part of an organization that does that. Well,
I'm glad you are, because the scholarships are very important to us, and I know that that's what we're working on this year, is building up our scholarship fund so that next May we'll be able to give out scholarships to artists, and I'm really looking forward to that. So you were a beneficiary then of scholarships throughout your educational process.
You know what, it's so funny because I never in a million years would have thought that I would have ended up in Las Vegas, but I actually was a recipient of the Liberace Music Scholarship.
Well, there you go.
So that was so funny, yeah, to end up in Las Vegas and, you know, to be over at the Liberace Museum. And I've actually talked to some of those people, too, and told them, yeah, I was a recipient. So it's kind of funny what a small world this is.
Well, you know, it's great that you're going to be involved in one of the projects, or one of the shows we've got coming up on August 11th at the Winchester Cultural Center.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
That's our Broadway series, and you're going to be singing a couple of songs. You want to tell the audience about what you're going to be singing and why you chose those songs?
I'm going to be singing about, I'm singing two songs. One is called Time Heals Everything, and it's all about how, trying to get over, in this particular instance, trying to get over a breakup. And I'm kind of convincing myself as I go along that I'm going to get over it Tuesday, Thursday, April, August, someday, some year, You know how it is. I'm trying to convince myself. And then at the very end, of course, I say, the hardest thing is getting over loving you. So it's really meant a lot to me in my life. I've had situations like that where I've had to kind of convince myself to get over and take the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. And so I really resonate with that song. And so that's really close to my heart.
That's great. That's great. And as a singer and as an artist, I think it's important for the audience to really know that when we choose songs, we really do take thought in what we choose to sing.
We really do, and I'm really blessed with an amazing coach. His name's Kevin Sherrill, and he knows me so well, and he just has the gift of looking at songs and saying, oh, I think this would be the perfect song for you, and then I look at that song, and I see what it's all about, and I say, oh my gosh, that's right, that is so me, and it's such a blessing to be involved with people who know you so well and understand where you're coming from. It really helps the process so much better,
Mm-hmm. You're singing another song, too.
Yes, I'm singing a song called When I Look at You.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it has the same kind of theme. She's trying to, it's from the Scarlet Pimpernel. And she's saying how, when she looks at this person, she reminds her of the person that she once knew, and she wishes she could get that person back again. And I think that happens sometimes in our relationships where we get to know someone and we really like the person that they are, and then somehow something shifts, something changes, and you don't know why, and you just wish you could get back to that starting point again, but somehow you just never can. And sometimes that just happens in relationships,
So you've got really good relationship songs there, but also a relationship with yourself, which is the most important of all, because unless we nurture ourselves and have a good working relationship with ourselves and are balanced in our lives, it's more challenging to be present for other people and to be in a relationship and really be who we are, like you said.
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So, okay, we only have a few minutes here with you, and I just wanted to touch base. Where can people find out about your music and go to find out about Stephanie Thompson?
Okay, they can go to my website, which is www.stephaniethompsonisp.com, and there's a video of me on there. You can see, me singing a bunch of different things. And I'm working on a big CD project right now, so I'm going to be having a CD coming out this fall.
That's great.
It's going to be a classical CD and a classic CD. So it's going to be classic songs and a classical CD, so I'm really excited about that.
Well, great. Thank you so much for calling in today, Stephanie, and I'm really looking forward to performing with you next week at the Winchester Cultural Center. That's the WIMA Broadway series, and we have several of our WIMA artists that are going to be joining us. I think there's about 8 of us, and we're looking forward to having a wonderful audience and introducing more people to WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. So we'll see you then, Stephanie.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Sandy.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So, Amy, as you were listening to her, I noticed you were making notes because of the thoughts of what she was saying about the songs and stuff. Would you like to? I know you have some insight into that.
What was coming to me, kind of what we were talking about earlier, is what can you control? And the Serenity Prayer really came to mind.
Oh.
With a relationship with ourselves or anybody else, what can I control and take action towards that?
Right.
And what is out of my control and surrender to that. Usually when you lose a relationship, you lose your mind for a little while, right?
Yeah.
And, you can't change that person if they're choosing not to be in a relationship with you anymore. It's about accepting that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a large part of how do we, survive and how do we be hopeful, is know what you can do it. Know what's out of your control, let go of it.
That's good. I like that. I like that. Also, you know, when we get into relationships, like she's talked about when you like those qualities in that person, and I
then you hate them.
Well, well, you know what I noticed for a long time when I was out in L.A. I was single for about 16 years, and I remember, you know, I would meet some great people. You know, I met some great guys, and they had some wonderful qualities, and yes, there are qualities that you see in other people that you like about them because they're qualities that you either want to have,
right,
or you feel that you have, or you'd like to develop more.
Right.
But I also saw that it was easy to get caught up in what their life was, but it is important to always bring it back to who we are and what are the qualities that we want to keep in our lives and how do we want to develop them for ourselves. And also to realize that we are two individuals within a relationship, regardless of it, if it's a marriage or a partnership, a business relationship, or a personal relationship. And we've talked before about this interdependence, you know, relationship, which you're both learning from each other and hopefully growing together.
And a lot of times when you have that conflict, that hating part, is just the same too.
Yeah.
You know, that's maybe something inside of, you know, you're reflecting to me,
Yes.
something inside of me
That's
I need
right.
to look at. So, you know, that, oh, I love you and, oh, I hate you, are both things that show us things that we need to work on.
Right. I think that's called projection.
Projection,
Projection.
absolutely.
And so oftentimes when we are in a situation where it's a negative or a
Something we
I'm
don't
not going to be able to say
like.
negative or positive anymore. But when it's a situation that
It brings up emotion.
that
You know, that's
brings
the
up
thing.
an emotion.
Positive or negative.
Right.
It brings up an emotion.
When it brings it up, we can look at it and say, okay, what about me
Right.
is like this? And
Exactly.
is that a hidden quality that I have that just comes out and explodes at certain times? You know, and what can I learn from this? We have another caller in. Our next guest is Bonnie's. He is the conductor, producer, director of Bonnie's Old West Musical Review. This is Jonathan Gorst. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Enjoying the rain here.
Is it raining outside?
Well, it was.
It was
Yes.
for about 10 minutes.
Very refreshing.
Well, that's good. Well, you have been very helpful to us, to WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. You just donated some of your tickets, your family packs, at our last event that we had at the Boca Park Summer Bash,
That's
which
right.
was on July the 14th, which thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be there.
And I heard back from a few people already that said they enjoyed the show tremendously and are looking forward to seeing it again. So that was
Great.
exciting to hear.
Yeah, we like to have people come back. We've actually had one couple has come back 5 times
Wow.
this summer to see the show, and it's pretty exciting to see people coming back, and they love it. They bring their family, bring some family from out of town, bring the kids. It's a great place to go.
And you are a little bit outside of town, so talk a little bit about that and how that place is a very important place that has been having theater for years there.
Yes, it's very interesting out there in Red Rock Canyon. Everybody that I speak to seems to think it's on the other side of the Spring Mountains, but it's actually right here, nearly in town. If you're in Summerlin, it actually takes longer to drive to the east side of town than it does up to Bonnie Springs. So you just go out Charleston, out west, past that Red Rock State Park entrance, and then we're 5 more miles up the road. And what you get to is Old Bonnie Springs. It's not Spring Mountain Ranch where they do the super summer musicals.
Okay.
They do those outside, but we're just in the old town. There's an old western town that was built by Bonnie in 1972. She constructed an old western-looking town that looks like a movie lot for an old western. And so you have storefronts, you have old restaurants, there's some gift shops, an old chapel. They even kept one of the old stamp mills from the gold. So interesting stuff. But we're up at the top of that hill in an old saloon that looks like it was probably built in 1880.
Oh.
And it's got the old timbers, and we have picnic tables set out with the red and white checkered cloths. Then there's this full bar that runs down the side of it, and then we've constructed a stage at the end of this saloon that has, full lighting and sound system in it. And we perform an old-style vaudeville show that goes back to acts that were written between 1890 and 1820, and then we've modernized them and have also written brand new material, original material, that keeps within the style but takes it into this generation. makes it appealing for all ages.
That's great, and I understand that you have co-written this with your wife.
That's right. My wife has been an excellent support. She's been the lyricist. She's also a very accomplished ballerina from the KLAV School and the School of American Ballet, and she has choreographed the show as well.
And she's in the show now, Phantom of the Opera.
That's right. She's a ballerina in Phantom of the Opera at the Venetian, and I'm also one of the conductors there.
You are an assistant conductor there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And also, she is a new WIMA member. Yes.
One of the newer WIMA members.
Yes.
As it grows.
So we're looking forward to having some more ballerinas in our organization soon, so that we can put on a ballet.
We've got some great ideas.
We do. As a matter of fact, we've been talking about collaborating. But also, so tell me a little bit more then about your plans to. I understand that you may be staying out there a little bit longer, or you may be extending the show.
Yes, we are currently looking at a negotiation into extending this show. Bonnie Springs holds a great event in October called Bonnie Screams. It's a great haunted house where they turn that old West
Bonnie
town
Screams.
It's really cute. It's a great place to bring the kids. Again, they have all kinds of things to do for the kids. They're going to have a magician this year. They're going to have the guys from Ghost Hunters up, actually. At, I believe, that event. They're doing a weekend here over Labor Day with the television guys from I think it's Discovery Channel, the Ghost Hunters show.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So fun stuff.
Well, Jonathan, I know we only have you for another second here, but I wanted to say that you're going to be doing a special guest spot at our August 11th date over at Winchester Cultural Center.
That's right.
Where you're going to bring 5 of your cast members, and you're going to perform a couple of the songs from Bonnie's Old West Musical Review.
That's right. We're looking forward to it.
For the WIMA Broadway series. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I want to thank you for all that you've been doing, and I think you're going to donate some more tickets, right?
Yes, we're going to do more tickets. We want to give those away for your raffle to raise money, and we are looking forward to performing there. We're going to be doing our original piece, which is our opening number, which is kind of an explanation of vaudeville.
Okay, good. All right, well, I look forward to it, and we'll see you there. So be sure and check out Bonnie's Old West Musical Review out at Bonnie Springs. And also come and see him on the August the 11th. They'll be joining us for the WIMA Broadway series at the Winchester Cultural Center from 2 to 4 p.m.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. We're going to take a little break for our sponsors. Marco's going to be calling. Hi, welcome back to Women in Music and Arts. This is your host, Sandy Kastel, and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas. I didn't see that red light come on. Anyway, we are here every Wednesday at noon on KLAV AM 1230 and streaming online at KLAV1230am.com. We've got a great lineup for our show today. My guests have been playwright Dolly Coulter, who may be calling in later, Stephanie Thompson, Jonathan Gorst of the Bonnie's Old West Musical Review, author of Awaken to Your Inner Beauty and owner of Worldwide Wellness, Mitzi Reed, tenor Marco Varela, artist, graphic designer, developer Tanya Nikolic, and delivering happiness messenger Amy Frost. And right now we're going to go to Mitzi. Hi, Mitzi.
Hi, Sandy.
How are you today?
Hi.
I'm really great. How are you?
Good, good. So you're going to share with us some of your thoughts from your book that you wrote, which is The Awaken Your Inner Beauty.
Yes. I came upon this title because of my own personal journey. About a decade ago, I had cancer of the uterus and pre-cancer of the cervix. And I went in, at that time I wasn't into alternative health so much. I really wasn't knowledgeable about that. So I went through traditional medicine, and I got a hysterectomy, a partial hysterectomy. About 6 months after that, I was still in a lot of pain. I wasn't able to exercise. I wasn't able to do a lot of things. And when I went back to the doctor, he basically said that you're going to have to take my ovaries out now. And I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. So I started looking for alternatives, and I started getting into alternative health and wellness. But in the meantime, because I wasn't exercising or anything, I started gaining a lot of weight. And I was always thin and active. I was in sports. I was very
I was very active in my youth, but because of this, I wasn't active and I started gaining some weight. So, of course, then my body image issues started developing, and, you know, I just felt really bad, and I thought, you know what, I need to figure out, one, you know, how to live healthy so I never develop, you know, cancer again or any other life-threatening diseases. But I also need to work on the inside as well, as far as accepting my body the way it is right at this moment.
That's right.
And then go forward. My body may change, which it has changed over the years, and as I've gotten into menopausal years, it definitely has changed. But to accept that as I am right now and just live healthy. And so Awaken to Your Inner Beauty is a book about celebrating your beauty from the inside out.
What a great, great, great idea. I love it.
Yes, and you know, there's a lot of tips in the book. It basically shares like my journey and how I ended up coming from a place that I absolutely loathed my body to a place of acceptance.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, all right, if you have your top 3 tips that you would give, what would they be to our listeners today?
My top 3 list is basically giving yourself love, you know, and respect and kindness. Okay, your body deserves to be treated well. So do lots of, you know, pampering for yourself. And I also don't worry anymore about my weight and size, because I feel that distracts from a meaningful life. So I try to focus on other things that will contribute to my life and to others. And I also focus on healthy lifestyle choices, and I let go of the outcome. You know, and it's hard sometimes to really let go of the outcome, but if you focus on the healthy lifestyle choices, you are going to become healthy inside and out. So those are probably my 3 biggest ones right there.
That's great advice. Now, how can they find your book?
They can go to my website, which is thespiritdove.com.
Okay.
And also, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm Mitzi Reed, and also Spirit Dove is my Facebook page.
Okay.
And also I wanted to say that anyone who would like to have help in accepting their body and celebrating it, I have a coaching package, and I will give my book for free, you know, for my coaching package.
Great, great. And they can find this online at
Correct.
Your website, thespiritdove.com.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Mitzi, for joining us. And Mitzi, you are one of our WIMA members, and it's so great that we have women and men also in the visual, performing, and literary arts, and including the healing arts.
Yes, it's so great. And Stephanie had said it great. I feel like I'm home. And so thank you so much for starting this.
Well, thank you for joining us, Mitzi. I really appreciate it. You have a wonderful day, okay? And I'll see you soon, okay? All right, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Well, Amy, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
was.
That just, I saw you take a few notes.
Well,
there,
just
but-
loving ourselves. That's
so
the
important.
biggest issue. I mean, you can't really be loving to anybody else
Right.
until you're loving to yourself.
Well, our next guest is Marco Varela, and Marco Varela just performed with us at the 15th anniversary With It Gala celebration. They were celebrating their 15th anniversary, and we had a wonderful evening. Hi, Marco.
Hi, how are you?
Good. And you're also going to be performing with us at the WIMA Broadway series on August 11th at the Winchester Cultural Center, which is located at 3130 South McLeod Drive, and that's just north of DI.
That's right.
So,
I'm very much looking forward to it.
So, Marco, you are doing all kinds of shows. I mean, you have just built up your name, and you have been performing not only here in Las Vegas, but you go around the world.
Well, I've been lucky to have some really good opportunity, and I found that if you take the entrepreneurial actions to create your own shows, you get a lot further ahead than if you just wait around and look for auditions.
Aye.
Amen.
Amen. So what are some of the highlights of your shows that you've done? What would you say your top performances were?
Well, they're all good performances because being able to choose your own music according to the singers that you put that you ask and invite to be with you makes for a great show.
Mm-hmm.
So we depending on where you're going to sing and for who you're going to sing, you customize the program, and it's always great results.
Mm-hmm. So now so what you do is you told me about another show that you're doing, which is going to be coming up soon.
On the 25th, that's right.
The 25th
on the at the same theater, the Winchester Community Theater, on the 25th
of August.
Correct.
Okay, and who's going to be performing with you then?
Well, the idea was to have 4 performers, but for personal reasons, we lost 2, and I've never been one to cancel a show. So me and Shelly, we're going to, the soprano, we're going to be putting a show by ourselves, and we're going to be doing some opera, some pop opera, and some music from the sequel of Phantom, which is called Love Never Dies.
Oh, okay. And what's Shelley's last name? Or do you know?
Well, she's famous enough. She only goes by Shelley.
I do. It's just that I'm about to go into a voiceover station, so they're calling me real quick.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I hope you guys come to the WIMA show on the 11th and on the 25th. If you've never heard the sequel from Phantom, I think I'm gonna do one of the songs on the 11th and a lot more on the 25th, and I hope you can join us.
Okay, and where can people find your music?
You can go to www.reverbnation.com, and if you want to purchase any of the music in my CD, you have to go to cdbaby.com.
Okay, great. And you will be bringing CDs to the performance at the Winchester Community Center, Winchester Cultural Center, on August the 11th. And we will see you there, and have a wonderful voiceover today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Marco.
Thank you for inviting me. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Marco's singing her songs, he's doing voiceovers, and he's doing these shows, and he's doing,
That's right.
multiple streams of income.
He definitely, and when we first got together, we had this big conversation about how he has really marketed his name, and it's very important for him when he's included in the show that he is billed as the tenor Marco Varela, because he's really,
it's his brand.
It's his brand. He works with other tenors to create shows that are like 3 tenors. He has 4 tenors. Then they do shows with 2 girls and a guy, or whatever, 2 sopranos and a guy.
And I think that's key.
And
having your brand and
That's
always
right.
holding to that,
Right.
so they remember you.
And he is very conscientious about working and his work ethic. I worked with him the other day. We had a rehearsal for one of the songs that he and I are going to be performing at the event on August the 11th at the Winchester Cultural Center. And
Where is that?
It's the Winchester Cultural Center, 3130 South McLeod Drive, Las Vegas, and it's just north of DI. So please, buy tickets. You can buy them online, I believe, at the Winchester Cultural Community website. I don't know where to tell them to go, sorry. But you can get them. It's a little tricky to find, but the tickets are only $10, so it's a very reasonable ticket, and we are going to have raffle prizes. You'll be able to buy raffle tickets, and for these wonderful raffle prizes that we put together.
So they go to the WIMA site?
At the WIMA site, yes, they can find out about tickets, and that's WIMAfoundation.org, WIMAfoundation.org, WIMA Foundation.org. You can find out about all the shows that we're doing, and that show is coming up on August the 11th at the Winchester Cultural Center, 3130 South McLeod Drive, and that's just north of DI. We look forward to seeing you there. We're going to take a little break now for our sponsors. Welcome to Women in Music and Arts. This is your host, Sandy Kastel, and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas every Wednesday at noon on KLAV AM 1230 on your dial, and streaming online at KLAV1230am.com. Our guests today have been Stephanie Thompson, who's a classical singer. Conductor, producer, director of Bonnie's Old West Musical Review was Jonathan Gorst. The author of Awaken to Your Inner Beauty, that was Mitzi Reed. And the tenor Marco Varela. And now we have artist, graphic designer, and developer Tanya Nikolic. And Tanya, hello.
Hi, Sandy.
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you there. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful. wonderful. How are you?
Good. Actually, I know you just texted me over this morning after, but I was already on my way when you texted it over about what your title, and I want to talk a little bit about that because so often we have a tagline, I think it's called, and where we describe ourselves in one line. And I was asking you what your one line is, and you said local fine artist and creative director for Gabuduck, a kids interactive apps company in Las Vegas. Wow. Tell us a little bit about Gabuduck and how you got involved working with them.
Well, Gabuduck, we have been working, we're this wonderful creative team here in Las Vegas, and Gabuduck was founded by Angela Absher and John McClain.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically create, develop, license, and publish interactive music and educational content for kids for mobile devices, for iPads primarily right now.
Uh-huh.
We launched our first 2 apps to the public last week,
Okay.
and we have received fantastic reviews, so we're really excited. And, it's fun. It's having the ability to create and have fun at what you do every day, and then know that you're making a product that really can benefit and make a difference in kids' lives and the way they learn and the way they play.
That's great. That's great. And how did you get tied up with this? Because I know you've been a graphic artist. You are an artist that paints also beautiful big paintings, and so you've had a very successful career as a painter. You've also worked at the Rio for a long time. You were creating their commercials, and so you.
That's right.
Right?
Well, what's interesting about Las Vegas is I think we have grown so much, and we're this big city, yet we're still kind of a small community where we get to know each other and meet each other. And I was really fortunate through the years. I've made some great relationships, and Angela and John, both through different ways. I met John through working on radio and television spots, and he has a company called Dog and Pony Show that they do all the sound and audio. And so I met him through that, and he's such a talented man. And then I got to meet Angela through the 48-hour film festivals, which she put together, and she's a very, very talented woman. And she also worked for quite a while at Aristocrat Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so myself and Jennifer Vanderstein, another artist at Gabuduck and also creative director, we got to work with her developing games. And it's a small town, but a big town, you know?
Is. Wow, that's great. And you and I met in 1998 when I was doing my show at the Judy Bailey Theater. That's how we met. You were my director of the production that we did, the big video.
That's right, and that was a lot of fun. And since then, we've gotten to work on a lot of fun projects together.
Well,
and WIMA especially very special to us.
Yes, and in fact, you're one of the founding members of WIMA.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So I really appreciate you coming on the show, and as a WIMA member, I know that it means something special to you. Do you want to share that with the audience?
Well, wow. Well, WIMA to me is family. I love, that we're this group of diverse, talented women, and we all have this passion for our arts that we create. And it doesn't matter if it's painting, music, dance, any creative space.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we're there for each other. We support and promote and collaborate.
Right.
I love that we're doing scholarships and giving back to the community. I was a scholarship recipient myself, and if I hadn't had that, I really don't know where I'd be today. So it's very important.
In fact, I know there's different groups of us put together different productions for WIMA, and you and Paula Thompson, who's also a founding member, just put together and organized a wonderful event that was held at Sandra Marnell's home on June the 24th. And it was just such a beautifully well-organized event. I mean, the artists that came in to do the show were so complimentary about how it was handled and what a great job you both did.
Thank you. It was really a very nice show, and we really enjoyed it. There was a lot of talent at that show. We're also WIMA's doing another show in October. We're going to be doing it at Tasty Space. It's in a downtown gallery in the Emergency Arts Building.
Right.
So, mark your calendars, October 5th. I believe it's first Friday in October. And that's going to be a great little curated show.
Great. And I understand we're going to each submit one piece, and it will be our artwork will be in the gallery for the entire month of October, right?
Correct. Correct.
So that's a really nice thing that you've arranged for us. And the owner of the gallery space is?
His name is Dana Satterwhite, and he has just a really wonderful little space down there and very, very select work. So I think it's going to be a very good show. Okay, so we really want to support the venues that are supporting us. So please, to our listeners, we want to let them know to check out the Tasty Space, and especially October the 5th, be there for our first Friday, where you will be able to see some of the artwork from the WIMA artists. And as Tanya was saying, we have women in visual, literary, and performing arts, and also the healing arts, as was apparent with Mitzi Reed. So, Tanya, is there any last-minute thing you'd like to say to our audience? Well, just support WIMA. We're a great organization, and we are making a difference in the community. And also, anybody interested in looking at the Kids Act, check out gabuduck.com, and, just look for us.
Good.
We're everywhere, right?
That's right. We're everywhere. Well, thank you so much, Tanya, and you have a fabulous day, okay?
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, Amy, we've had a wonderful show, and we're getting ready to wrap it up here. This is our last little minute here. Is there any last-minute thing you'd like to say?
Yeah, journaling is a great way to inspire hope. So I want people to get out a journal and write what is it you want, and what's one thing you're going to do today to make that happen.
Sounds great. We are WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. I'm your host, Sandy Kastel, and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas every Wednesday at noon on KLAV AM 1230 on your dial, and streaming online at KLAV1230am.com. You can also listen to rebroadcast of our program every Friday morning at 10 a.m. after the initial show on VegasAllNetRadio.com. So thank you for joining us today. We look forward to meeting you next week, and please join us at WIMAFoundation.org. We'll see you then.